Grand rising and priming powerful beings. Shout out to you. It's the holistic motivator, and today I'm going to be talking about the power of being intentional about your routine. There's a power of being intentional about your routine. When you're intentional about your routine, you don't get led by life or led by circumstances or led by your feelings. You actually lead yourself into factual things. You lead yourself into what you want. You lead yourself to where you want to go. So when you're led by your routine, when you say that there is an importance in your routine, there's a power in your routine. Normally, if you look at somebody who's going to a depression stage, not somebody who's depressed, somebody who's going to a depressive moment versus somebody who's empowered and ready to go, their routine is different. One person's routine might be, I'm in the bed. Another person's routine might be, I'm out doing stuff that actually makes me happy and enjoyable. I have a vision. I have something that's pulling me every single day. The power of the routine is that it pulls you, right? When you don't have a vision, that's what causes you to perish internally. So a routine is going to pull you. So today I'm going to talk about the importance of having a routine and the power of it. So keep tapping into this episode of Ed Talks Daily. Let's get it. This is a podcast. Ed Talks Daily is all about growth in all aspects of your life. How do you solidify a healthy mindset, a holistic mindset that will lead to a healthy body, healthy relationships, in tune spirit? If you want to join me on this journey to becoming the best version of ourselves, as I am on the journey too, just with you, it's Ed Talking Daily. I'm Ed, and I'm talking, sharing some stuff, sharing my life, and sharing some insight that I'm getting that God is blessing me with. So today I'm going to be talking about the power of a routine. Now, more than ever, you need to have a routine. And somebody says, why do I need to have a routine? You need to have a routine because if you don't have a routine, it's going to be very hard for you in the next coming months. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but you need to prepare yourself for what's coming. Now, somebody says, winter is coming. Yes, something is coming. And I'm not here to scare you, but I'm here to equip you with the right mindset to say, hey, get stronger. Because financial winter is coming, emotional winter is coming, relational winter is coming. One of the best ways to combat or go against and play defense against the financial, emotional winter and the relational winters is actually by having a solid routine. So somebody like, what do I mean? Your routine is not just how you wake up, which is your rising routine. Your routine is literally how your day goes. Your routine is what you do throughout the day. Like my day this rising was literally like a whole retreat before I even got here. Like literally, I already did so many different things before it's even 10 o'clock. Now you're like, it's routine about productivity, not solely about productivity. Routine is mainly about you actually vitality more than productivity. A lot of people think, yo, I need to have a routine so I just can get things done. They think that, yo, by having a routine to get things done, that's what the routine is about. Yo, I can get this thing done. No, sometimes you just need to have a routine so things don't do you. You need to have a routine so you can be at a good place of being. You need to have a routine for your own growth and personal development so you can feel good. Somebody says, is a routine a constraint? Isn't that going to put me in a box and I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this? No. Every time that you have a routine, you don't got to do anything. Actually, what's happening is you're getting to do what you want to do. What a routine does is it allows you to pick out your itinerary for living. What is an itinerary for living? Most people have an itinerary for work, and it's 9 to 5 consistent. But they don't have an itinerary for living. A routine says, I'm not just a human worker, I'm a human being, so I need to figure out how to be, and to be, I need to have a certain things that I do every single day. So imagine if you wake up and the first thing you do is go to work, and that's all you do, and then by the time you get home, you're too tired, so you get home, you put on Game of Thrones, and you're watching TV, or you put on your favorite show, and you drink a beer, and then you watch TV, and then you go to sleep, and then you wake up, and you do the same thing again. Like somebody says, well, that's cool. Well, you might say it's cool because you've accepted it, but I really want to ask y'all, is that fun? Like legit, you didn't give yourself much time. You already stressed. There's so much anxiety. You got to deal with rude people at work. I mean, people can be so rude. Like you out here, you working, you doing your best to try to help them get their food or whatever, deliver their package, or you helping them whatever way you helping them, and people can be rude. And then you getting a lot of rudeness, but you're not getting any, you getting right. So what I'm saying is, you want to be able to fortify your temple, so when you deal with any challenge or anything throughout the day, you good. Like nobody can rob your peace, right? Nobody can rob your peace, because you cultivated your peace. So nobody can rob your peace when you prime yourself to a state of bliss. So now it's carrying out throughout the day. I promise you this will change your life. No matter what you're going through, whether you're anxious, whether you're constantly overthinking, whether you're going through a depressive moment, I want to let you know that if you just say, I'm going to solidify my routine by adopting certain holistic habits in my routine, your life is going to change. So somebody says, how does that look like? What do I need to do for my routine? The first thing you're going to need is, you're going to need a way to grow every single day. Most people, reason why they're not getting better is not because they're not growing better. They're not growing to where they want to go. So they forgot. And even if you started doing this and you stopped, they're not listening to audiobooks in the morning. They're not listening to Ed Talks Daily, like my podcast. Shameless plug. Go to edtalksdaily.com. They're not listening to motivational videos. They don't have a class that they go to, a course that they take. They're not rising and priming like I rise and prime. They don't have anything that's intentional about their day. So really, they kind of like unintentionally lead their life. So they kind of drift. What I'm telling you now is grow. Before you go, grow. Ask yourself, did I grow today before I go? You're going out the door. Did I grow today before I go? And while you're in your car, how can you grow? Is it a favorite podcast that you listen to? Is it an audio book that you listen to? This week, part of the tribe, we're actually reading 2 books. The Sacred Man, Sacred Woman by Queen Afua. Right? So we're doing a book club every single rising. We're doing a mastermind. And the reason why we're doing that is because we figured out if we want to master our minds, we got a mastermind. So the reason why we're reading books to grow is because by reading a book or listening to something first thing arising, you dismantle limiting beliefs, automatic negative thoughts. Let me tell you something. Sometimes it's not us that's getting in the way as much as our thoughts. Our thoughts can get in the way so much because guess what? We are thinking on the basis of then, not on the basis of what can happen. Not on the basis of possibilities, but on the basis of limitation. So I'm trying to say to you that if you say, I'm going to be very intentional and deliberate about my routine, your life is not only going to shift, but your life, something powerful is about to happen in your life. So somebody says, but I don't have time, I got to rush out. Let me tell you something. You don't have time for yourself, but you got time for your boss, don't you? You don't have time for yourself, but you got time for your kids. And somebody says, of course I should have time for my kids. Well, yeah. Did you know that you can give your kids better quality time if you had quality time for yourself? My podcast is called Ed Talks Daily, and what I do is I literally help people every single day. This is the podcast right here. Every single day. The reason why I'm able to produce so much content, the reason why I'm able to empower and do everything seamlessly is because I have structure and procedures that I'm able to implement every single day, and they're implemented in a routine. I have templates and procedures that I just wake up today and I step into it. I'm like, I got to do that. I got to do this. I got to do that. I get to do this. I get to do that. I get to do this. And by the time I get to do it, every single day I'm adding a strand towards new neural pathways in my brain. I'm becoming better and better and better. Every single day I'm getting better. Every single day I'm actually building my dreams and goals. So sometimes you got to go, you got to dream. But the thing is, the reason why you're not achieving it is because you're not routining it. You're not achieving your goal or routine, not because you can't, but because you're not routining it. You have to routine your dreams in. What does it mean like I routine my dreams in? I routine my dreams in when I say that 10 a.m. is every day I'm going to do a podcast. I routine my dream in when I say every single day around this time I'm rising and priming. I'm doing that mindful movement. Next, after you've grown, you listen to a podcast, you read a book, guess what you should do? Mindfully move. A lot of people think that moving is an option. Moving is a prevention. Moving is a help tool. Moving is adding life to you. Not just adding life to your life as in adding year to your year, but moving is actually adding vitality to your current life. So you're like, yo, what do you mean by that? You ever been like so anxious but you can't think right. You ever been so anxious that like you can't really, you can't even be there right now. Like you're there, but you're not there because you're so anxious. That's because you haven't been moving. Your anxiety is stuck in your body. You ever been angry that everything makes you mad? The anger is stuck in your booty, stuck in your liver. What I'm letting you know right now is once you move intentionally, you move sickness out of your body. Your issues are in your tissues. You can move your issues out of your tissues. You could breathe your issues out of your tissues. You could breathe your lungs back to health. Intentional moving is a way to heal. You go to the doctor, instead of prescribing you exercise or workout, they're not going to prescribe you exercise or workout. They're going to say, this is what you take to mask this issue. If you come to me, I'm going to say, look, let's prevent you from even getting sick. How can you schedule a routine? How can you schedule a certain mindset so that way you don't even get sick? Prevention is the only cure. That's what I learned from my teacher. And I go back to say teacher. I've gotten better because I've learned to humble myself to learn from other people. First pillar, learning. And then I learned something called medical qigong, and I started doing it. At first, I only used to go to the gym rat. I used to only lift weights. And I only lifted weights because I wanted to work on my external body. But then at some point, I discovered that it was more than just the external body. There was the internal body. And the internal body, I discovered, was my emotional body, it was my energy body, and it was my spiritual body. Now somebody says, what do you mean? You got so many bodies? I used to focus on my external strength. And guess what? When you exercise, you perspire. When you exercise, you burn off heat. When you exercise, you literally clean up your cells by burning off heat. And at the same time, you are producing hormones called endorphins, which are natural painkillers. You're producing natural feel-good hormones. So exercise already helps you in so many ways. And it helps you not get sick. It helps you keep your metabolism going. It helps you stay active, keeps your blood flowing. However, there's another way to exercise. There's exercise and then there's exercise. Somebody says, is they the same or is they different? They can be about the same, about different. You can exercise mindfully and make it exercise. Some people go to the gym, they don't exercise mindfully, they just kind of do whatever. But they're not really feeling everything. They're not really sensing everything. What Qigong does is not only does it get you to exercise, it gets you to exercise. Exercising meaning you're breathing consciously, you're mindful of what it's doing for your body. This is why educate yourself. I started in the wellness industry as a personal trainer. Now I'm a holistic lifestyle coach. But guess what? I used to train people with their bodies. I discovered people didn't just have issues with their bodies. They had issues with their emotions. They had an issue with certain habits they're trying to overcome, with certain traumas they're trying to heal from. And I was like, yo, I'm helping people with their bodies, but they'll pick up the weight back because they haven't gotten the mindset to keep the weight off. So that's when I said, oh, I can't just help people with their bodies. I need to help people with their mind. And then I figured it's not just the mind. I need to help people with their nutrition. So I learned that. I need to help people elevate their spirit. So I got more in tune with the Creator. Now, every single day, God uses me because I have a routine. God is not using you sometimes, not because God don't want to use you, but because you don't have the routine for God to use. You spending your time doing other stuff that's not godly, so God can't use you in that routine. If you gossiping, God's not going to use you. But if you preach it, if you're using your words as swords, God's going to use you. When I don't come here and don't do this and I stay in my own head and I'll be like, well, I keep doing this. Instagram is shadow banning me. I know this should be reaching many people. It's showing it to one and they're not showing my videos. Oh, woe it's me. And I stop doing it. God no longer utilize my gift of speaking. So what do I mean? If I close my mouth, God can come out of my mouth. Somebody says, so people love to say they are God, but they are gods. And by right, and even in the word, it says you are like gods. But people don't like to use their God power. They stay in demon time. But they want to be like, yo, I am a God. But you in demon time, God is not even using you. So don't even claim that anymore. Look, I don't even want to claim that I am a God. I just claim that the God within me will illuminate my path and show me the way. I allow God to perpetuate my body and use me as a vessel because I don't want to take the responsibility of being one. Because, look, I trust the divine to utilize me effectively. So every single day, my routine is like, yo, how do I get out of my way to be used by God? And lately, he's been doing amazing things in my life, helping me get over vices that I couldn't, help me heal traumas that I couldn't do by myself. I told you to educate yourself, but one thing is people will try to educate themselves into spiritual enlightenment, and they think that's the only way. To be spiritual enlightenment is to tap in with the one. And guess what? Education is only opening up the door to see what's available. It's not all that's available. What's most important is educate, and it's literally unlearning. Unlearning and let God. Let go and let God. You ever heard that? Let go and let God. That's the biggest thing you can possibly do to heal. I discovered that when I was listening to everybody's words, take my words with a grain of salt. I'm a motivator, but only God can heal. I'm a healer myself, but mainly God can heal. All I do is I am what? I share knowledge to bring you closer, and then you get closer, and then you're like, yo, okay, when I help you detox and fast, what do? I've just shared a little bit of principles and knowledge with you that you go and detox and fast, but guess where the revelation comes from? Your connection to God. It has nothing to do with me. Learning is only a door pathway to get you to the Creator, and the Creator does the rest. But if you open the pathway and you solely depend on your creation, yeah, you can only go so far. God is in you, and you got the power of God. But guess what? Somebody says, how do I get started? There's so much information, it's hard to know what. Start with your routine. That's the power of a routine. I'm letting y'all know a secret that's not a secret, that may seem like, okay, what does he keep talking about? Routine. Somebody says, Ed, how did your life change? I woke up at 5 a.m. I started doing certain things every day. I woke up at 5 a.m. I started having certain thoughts about my business or where I wanted to go. I woke up at 5 a.m. I started fortifying my temple, motivating myself, listening to motivation. I would listen to Les Brown, Eric Thomas every single day. I'm a mobile personal trainer. I'm telling you, I'm in college. I was my sophomore year in college. By my junior year, I lost my townhouse apartment. I got evicted. I was so stressed, and the cops were coming. Everything was coming after me. It was like, can anything else go wrong? I lost my car. I lost my house. The feds coming. A bunch of bills. Tickets after tickets. I'm failing college. I'm trying to run a business and people are quitting. I'm like, everything is going wrong. But guess what? God was steering me towards the right direction. And I discovered that I had to fortify myself, because if I didn't, I couldn't handle that. And I remember going to work stressed out every single day, worried about my future. But I kept waking in the morning. I kept getting that motivation. Somebody says, how you woke up every day, do this stuff, and nobody was paying attention? How you woke up, do this stuff, and people quitting you? How will you wake up every day? I just kept fortifying my temple. Somebody says, you're still doing the same exact thing today in a different way. Exactly. I never stopped. It's been like 7 years of the same thing over and over, and something beautiful comes out of consistency. And consistency is implemented in a holistic routine. So you're like, what do? I say, feed your mind. What do I do? I say, move your body. What do? I say, breathe intentionally. What do? I say, affirm. The power of life and death is in your tongue. The power of life and death is in my tongue. The sword of my tongue is there to break through limiting beliefs, break through the demons and energies that's trying to stop me, break through to people who don't want to see me prosper. No weapons formed against me shall prosper, because the weapon of my tongue is stronger. No weapon formed against, look, I promise you say this in your darkest moment. No weapon formed against me shall prosper, because the tongue of my sword is stronger. And you could break down physical limits. You can feel goosebumps in your body, because what you're doing is you're speaking life into your life. What if you woke up today and say, man, I'm broke. Man, I don't know, I can't do that. What I'm trying to say is, if you woke up today and you just kept speaking death into your life, I don't wake up every day speak power to your life, because everything goes the way I want it. You know how I want to reach millions of people. I want Instagram to stop shadow banning me and show, because there are people who need what I'm doing right now, and they're consciously doing this to me, and I'm like, I'm pissed off with that. But you think I'm gonna stop? So I said, I'm gonna take my talent to TikTok. So you know what I said? I said, I'm going to take my talent to my own community. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take my talent to real life. I said, I'm frustrated with something that I've been investing a lot of time in, and they're not giving me the result. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to speak life into every single day. One person, 2 people, 3 people, 4. Every single day, I'm making my dreams become a reality. Look, I understand the Matrix does not want people to be free. So, no, look, but they can't stop the anointing. They can like try to contain it. They can contain it for a week. They can contain it for a couple of years, but they can't contain it forever. They can't stop the anointing. They can't stop it. That's the longevity when you're connected to God and you're doing something with the right heart. I wake up every day, I see the suffering. I'm like, God, thank you for the gift you gave me. I need to use it. This is why I do what I do. I got a gift. It's not common. It's very unique. It's uniquely me. I want to use my gift. So I need a routine that's effective enough for the person that I am. You can't have you're a great person and you have a mediocre routine. You can't be a great person, and that I know that you are a great person, and you have a mediocre lifestyle. You have a mediocre health eating pattern. You have a mediocre thinking pattern. Look, you cannot be this anointed in mediocrity. And recently, God called upon for me to let go of my vices so I can grow. Somebody said, what do you mean by letting go of my vices so I can grow? I was holding on to things in the season that was coping, and God said, I need you to switch from coping to healing, because on the other side of healing, is everything that you want. And not only will I give you what you want, you can keep it longer. God is like, yo, I need you to stop coping and start healing, because the moment you start healing, I can give you what I've had for you to begin with, and now you're not going to lose it fast, because you're not about to spend all of that on weed. You're not about to spend that on bottles. You're not about to spend that on going to the club. You're about to invest it into your business. You're about to buy a patent with that, a copyright with that. You're about to start a workshop with that. You're about to launch a book and a clothing line with that. Sometimes God sees how you're operating, and he's like, if I give you more, you're going to get more of the less. So I need to give you less so you can get more. It's a process. And you're like, man, God, why are you doing this to me? No, you're doing this to your doggone self. And God's like, the moment you get out of your way, I'm gonna show you the way. God is like, yo, the moment you get out of your way, I'm about to show you the way. I've been showing it to you, but I'm about to show you more of what I had in store for you. But you got to get out your way. Stop eating yourself. And here's another thing I heard. I heard from the grapevine. God, like, yo, stop caring about people's feelings. Start caring about people's souls. Because your feelings are temporary, but the desires of your souls is permanent. And your soul won't rest until your life matches your soul. Your spirit won't rest until your life matches your spirit. And what I'm saying is, some people will get offended when I say, make sure you're eating healthy. Stop eating trash. Stop going to McDonald's and Wendy's. Stop eating them fast food restaurants. Start juicing like we're fasting now. Some people are going to get angry when I say stop watching pornography because it's toxic, because it's allowing you to see women or men in the light that's not work. Some people are going to get offended when I say that. Stop smoking weed because it's robbing you of your money. You're burning your money away, and it's robbing you. You're taming down your potential. Somebody's not going to be happy about that, because I wasn't happy about that myself. I didn't get to this point because I was always at this point. I got to this point because I got frustrated from the point I was, and I realized it's not working for me. Creating the power of a routine is that it's literally going to change your life, because you're going to implement certain things in a routine that's going to transform your life. Some stuff is going to come up when you check in on yourself. The reason why most people actually drift through life is because they never check on themselves. They don't check on themselves. By that I mean they don't check on them. They don't know how they're feeling. I woke up today. I know exactly what's going on in my spirit. I know how I feel about certain things. I know why certain emotions are going. I know what I want to do and what's in the way of doing it. I know where I'm at and how I see how God is using me. I'm hearing the voice of what God telling me. Somebody says, how you doing all of that? You know what? I woke up today and I was very intentional about how I woke up. I woke up today and I journaled and I said, I woke up today and I thought about my business I wanted to go. I woke up today and I said, I was very intentional about how I spoke into my life. I was very intentional about how I moved. I woke up every single day very intentional. If you're in a holistic spiritual journey, you will have read books by now. I've read so many books, and one of the major things that the books share is the power of intention. The power of intention says, the intention sets the cell. Intention literally gets you going in a specific direction. That's why the first thing I write in my journal was, what is my intention? Oprah said, one of the reasons why the Oprah show was so popular and effective is because she said, before every single episode, I told my team, asked myself, what's my intention? In fact, I actually got that from Oprah. Not that specific question, but the idea of intention, I got that from a, a wide amount of things. But when Oprah said that, I did a show called Unlimited Power when I was like in high school, in college, which was just a few years ago. And I would ask myself, what's the intention for this episode? What's the intention? I used to, because when you wanna reach great heights, you gotta study great people. You gotta study their patterns. You gotta read their book. Tony Robbins says model. Now I can put this name in there. I could throw this. Why? Because I'm studying these people. When you don't have an intention, you don't know where you want to go. You don't know who to study. So now you're not studying intentionally. You're studying subconsciously, and you don't even know it. So you're like 21, do your thing, 21, 20. So you're adopting your whole relationship information based on a new album that came out. But you're not doing your thing. Now you have a 21 mindset, and you stay 21 years old when you're 30. I'm letting you know right now, your 20s is the time where you're supposed to mess up, where you're supposed to have gain, and by your 30s, where you're supposed to just apply your lessons. By your 40s, eat the roots of your... So somebody says, what's the secret to consistency? The secret to consistency is actually readjustment. A lot of people think consistency is that I have to get up and do it every day. That's part of it. Consistency is when you don't get up for 2 or 3 days, you don't do it, for you to say, oh, what do I need to go back? What standards do I need to fight? One of my recent podcast episodes, if you go to edtalksdaily.com, and this is the podcast, literally yesterday I put a podcast that says you got to fight for your standards. Every time you fall out, you got to say, look, I remember how I felt when I did this. I want that feeling again. I remember how my life was when I did this. I need to get to that again. And guess what you do? You literally go and do it. You let go of the shame. You let go of the blame. Oh my God, I didn't go to the gym. Oh my God, I started eating fast food. You know how many times that Ed, the holistic motivator, who motivates people, have reverted? But I keep fighting. I fight for my standards every single day. I fight so much now. I don't even have to fight, because now my spirit is fighting for me. I've created certain pathways in my brain where I don't have to fight myself not to go to a fast food restaurant. It's not even in my radar. I don't have to fight myself to move and breathe and think positive. It's not in my radar. I don't have to force myself to listen to sermons and pray, because it's already in my... The reason why we hold back is shame and blame. One of the major things that affected me personally was shame. Guilt trip myself, bruh. Guilt tripping myself for not calling somebody that I love. Guilt tripping myself for not being a certain way. Guilt tripping myself for not texting somebody back. When I started to be compassionate towards myself and less guilt tripping, I realized the antidote to guilt is action. The antidote to shame is forgiveness. The antidote to guilt is action. Guilt says there's something you could be doing that you're not doing. So if you do it, you're good. Shame says, oh, feel bad about what you didn't do or could have done or didn't do. And forgiveness says, you know what? Forgive yourself for that. The moment you let go of shame and blame, you let go of guilt, your life is going to transform, because you could readjust. Every single day I'm adjusting. Every single day I'm shifting. I'm shifting into becoming better. Every single day I am shifting into becoming better. Let go of the shame. Let go of the blame. Transform your life. So you got to check in on yourself so you don't wreck yourself. You got to mindfully move every single day. And you got to grow in a different way. Guess what I've done, y'all? And I'm going to say this because I know a few people have signed up for this. I created a routine for people to do this consistently. A lot of times we don't have the coaching. We don't have the support system. We don't have the motivation. And one of the secrets I'm thinking in the book Think and Grow Rich is to have a mastermind, is to have a mentor, and it's to do certain things that's going to transform your life. So guess what I did? I legit created this. I took my routine, I took certain things that I learned, and I implemented something called Rise and Prime. And I do it every single day, Monday through Friday. So Rise and Prime is a holistic rising routine to help you start your day positively. What it is We go on Zoom. It's on Zoom, so you don't have to go anywhere. You click the link, you join. The energy is always positive. The people who are attracted to the community are just some good people. Are healers, seekers, and teachers. So we got people who do exactly what I do, who still learn from me and grow from me, who are part of my tribe. That's what a tribe is about. Energy attracts energy. And the first thing we do is check in on ourselves. Mental health check-in. Of course, we got to do that alone. But at the same time, certain questions can really enlighten you. Like tomorrow is about reviewing to see how your week went. Check in on yourself so you don't wreck yourself. Mental health check-in. Number 2, we mindfully move, y'all. So mindful movement is legit where we're doing the Qigong. We're breathing. I'm definitely going to see you tomorrow, Alexis. So make sure you set your alarm because sometimes you miss it. And, Eventbrite's going to send you a link. So we mindfully move. We do Qigong. We breathe. And then after that, guess what we do? Personal development. You see how I'm talking to you right now? I have a specific subject that I motivate people on every single day during Rise and Prime. And then after that, we finalize it with the power of the sword. And that's powerful affirmations, speaking life into our lives. We do that Monday through Friday. This is one segment of what I have called the Holistic Lifestyle Tribe. I totally recommend you all try this out. It's life-changing. I've seen so many people transform just by coming in the communities, they literally build certain habits that they're not going to have for life. Because you only really need to do something about 21 days, but if you need to keep it stick, you do it for 66 days. Now, somebody says, I'm not ready to commit. You don't have to commit, just try. So this is why I created every Monday and Friday, I open it up, it's free. Somebody says, okay, it's free, how do I go for it? I'm going to let y'all know right now. And right after this, if you go to my bio and you could click the link, you'll be able to get a ticket for it. It's free. But somebody actually, shout out to you for actually, the other day, she actually donated to it too. She shared gratitude. I love that. Right? So I appreciate you, Alexis, for doing that. But it's free. So you go to riseandprime.com, right? And what you do is you can join the thing for free. You can join tomorrow for free. Now Jim24 Love asks me, how can I actually join the community? Okay, you go to holisticlifestyletribe.com. Man, this thing is so on point. It's a mighty networks, so I have everything together in one place. All the book club meetings we ever had, all the future workshops we're gonna have, the Rise and Prime sessions. It's really like I'm legit like a health coach that's gonna be there for you along your journey. We become kind of family. We become kind of healers in the process because we're going far, so we go farther together. So that's what you go to holisticlifestyletribe.com. There is a free 3-day trial, right? So I see Chocolate Cream says you want to try it. Go ahead and give it a try, right? I promise you the same energy you get here is the same energy, and it's really empowering. Okay, so go check out riseandprime.com. This is how you try it for free. But then if you say, I want to see what the community is about, I want to get in there. Like, I really want to, I need this in this season. Like, I've been alone, I've been lonely, I've been trying to grow. I need like a community. Because it's not, the environment I'm currently in is not right for me. I promise you, you're going to meet some like-minded. It's actually a lot of women in the community. There's a few men, but we want a lot of the brothers to show up. I realize the brothers don't do a lot of work. So the brother, look, if you're a guy, come, bruh. Because you need to be part of this. You need to be doing the work to heal, right? So I want to let y'all know. Go ahead, go to riseandprime.com. I'm going to say it again. Go to riseandprime.com. And by the way, everything I'm saying right now is a podcast. I'm going to, look, first of all, I say this humbly to say, I don't know how I'm doing this, but I've been doing it. I'm just thanking God. But I've made a podcast every day since 2020. I've been so consistent. So if you go to edtalksdaily.com, you can literally listen to any podcast episode. You just put it on. Whatever subject you need, just scroll. It's powerful. So this is a podcast, and make sure y'all go and subscribe to the podcast, even if you don't show up to Rise and Prime. And everybody listening, if you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and you're hearing my voice right now, and you've been hearing me talking to people live, I want you to stop just listening to the podcast and take action. Some people, they listen to the podcast, but they don't take action. Right, so I want you to listen to the podcast, take action, show it to the room, let's move, let's breathe. I'm going to show you some really cool stuff. Right, what I learned from Dr. Love, Dr. Joseph Love from the Blue Dragon Qigong Academy. He's much older than I am. Now I've soaked it in as the young person, I'm sharing it to you in a way where it can really resonate. So I do the same work, and it's just I do it in my own way. And I'm myself, I'm very confident in who I am. I know who I am, and that's why I do what I do. So if you want to join, you want to be part of it, go to riseandprime.com. And that's pretty much my message, y'all. And I'm sticking to it. Listen, I'll make a quick announcement. I like to document my life and journey too. Tomorrow I'm going to a workshop in Fort Lauderdale with the Motivator, Les Brown. And I'm getting that one. I'm getting that coaching from Les Brown, and I'm speaking that he's gonna be my personal mentor, right? I was born on the same birthday as Les, 50 years after Les, and I decided to call myself the holistic motivator because I realized this generation didn't just need motivation; they need lifestyle principles. So now, what I do that's different than other motivational speakers is I don't just motivate you to grind and succeed. I'm not saying that's all they do. That's definitely not what all they do. But what I do specifically different is I motivate you to eat healthy. I motivate you to work out. I motivate you to tap into your spirit, to heal. I motivate people to live holistically. Hence, the holistic motivator meets the motivator training in Fort Lauderdale. So I'm very excited. Next is Eric Thomas. I want to train with Jeremy Anderson. I want to train with Eric Thomas, E.T. the hip hop preacher. I want to train with Tony Robbins. Those are like some of the people that I've always looked up into. So there's a lot of other speakers that I want to train with, So I train with the holistic healer, holistic doctor, and I train with the motivators. So we got the holistic motivator, baby. So that's where the name came from. Somebody said you should put a W for the holistic because holistic was the East. I'm like, I'm sorry, it's too late now. I can't. I would put the W, but I'm already at the H. So that's what I do, y'all. So I totally, y'all tap in. Yeah, I promise you, the reason I do this is because I don't know what else to do with my life. Every time I do something else, I get miserable. And God is like, it's either you live your gift or you be miserable. I choose to just be in my gift. If you've been miserable, I want you to know you got to be in your gift. While you work, I'm Uber Eating. I'm rising and priming. I'm speaking in front of stages. I'm working with a nonprofit organization. I'm doing as many different things to get. I make income from various sources. I use my gift. It's gonna take time for you to do it, but you gotta do work so you can do your gift. So I learned how to humble myself to do different things so I can be in my gift while doing work. And with this society of what is called ride share, and we live in a gig society. There's no way why you shouldn't do your gift while you're making other streams of income. All right, so you gotta always be in purpose. And I want to let you know, I used to think it's not big till it's big. I realized it's big in someone's heart, so it's big. God made me look. God put something in me that I would never got if I blew up fast. I see people as individuals because I see people in small numbers where I know the person like a friend. So God is like, I'm going to elevate you to know people as a whole, but you need to know people as a whole. And that's why I'm getting to a level where God is going to open up a lot of doors for me because he's like, yo, you served the few well, my friend. Here's the many. But he's like, bro, I want you to keep the many going in the right path. I don't want you to lead them astray or be in an ego point. I need you to let go so I can use you. That's when this is going to be effective because if you do it, I like you, buddy. But if you do it, you might just screw it up. That's what God says. God's like, I like you, but I need you to work with me because I got the power. That's the power of a routine. You're going to get closer to God every time you wake up, you pray, you stay steadfast, you meditate every single day. You remind me of the authors in Hay House Productions. Maybe you could write for them. I was thinking about that. It's crazy you said that. I'm going to look them up. I'm going to submit something to them. Because I was thinking of writing my first book, Go Through the Pain. And I'm a great writer, too. People don't know because I haven't written my book. But I've been procrastinating. But I know I procrastinated in my book, not because necessarily I procrastinated. But there was a spirit that says, you had a few lessons to learn. And I learned those. And I think now is the time to reveal it. So thank you, Alexis. I'm going to look up Hay House Productions. I'm going to send in something to them. I'm going to see if they can publish. But imagine Ed, the holistic motivator, a global author. Imagine that. Thank you for that. God will send you signs from all types of ways. Thank you, Alexis. God used you for that message. I felt that. I felt that. I felt that, man. And like Rosalind Malone, shout out to Rosalind Malone, sold out. Shout out as it started their stories. She's part of the tribe. I love her and her beautiful energy and value to the world. She said, his ways are not our ways and his thoughts are higher. So we must tap into our higher self and get it with that. Man, let's get it. Let's get it. Yo, I would stay here all day, but I gotta go, man. I gotta go make some bread. I'm legit about to go Uber. I told y'all I'm on the grind. I'm on the hustle. I'm saving my money to buy assets. You know what I'm saying? I'm saving my money to invest my business to buy copyrights and patents. Right? As I grow my dream and it's small, I'm doing what I can to make it bigger. All right. So I gotta go hustle. All right. So I appreciate y'all for listening. I'm gonna get out of here. And remember that you have the unlimited power in you to achieve whatever it is that you want, to build yourself to the person that you were created to be. But first you have to believe it in order to achieve it. And until that happens, the world forever miss all your talents and all your gifts and all the great things you have to offer. Listen, there's a power in your routine. So go to risingprime.com. See you tomorrow. Okay? Go to risingprime.com and I'll see you tomorrow. All right, let me give a quick shout out. Shout out to My Drum, My Beat. I like that. Shout out to Alexis Goodchild. Shout out to, who else commented? Jen 24 Love. Shout out to Rosalind Malone. Shout out to Nene Yo. All right, that's all the shout outs. Who's Instagram? All right, shout out to Victoria. This is gonna be written in the book, so you got to shout out forever. Your name is forever on my podcast, so shout out to y'all. Well, that means something to me. Okay, I'm out. Peace.